Hey there viewers, my name is Torinski and welcome back to another Wednesday stream. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, starting off with the usual, some super auto pets, maybe just play to win a few times, maybe try and get some of our fancy zombie achievements accomplished. We'll see how it goes as we play through here, and then afterwards, after a little bit of a warm-up here, we're going to be hopping into a new game, playing some Inscription, which I've heard so much about. Done my very best not to let anything be spoiled for me, and so I'm very excited to see what that's all about because I've heard so many good things and it should be a really fun time. But of course, as mentioned, we'll be starting off here, and definitely for the first one we'll ease into it. We won't go immediately for level 3 RAM or anything like that. Let's just see how it goes, see how the meta's cooking these days, and we'll go from there. So we'll check first. I think we'll start off on pay to win. Perfect. And let's hop into it here. Hopefully we get some good luck today. We've definitely had some issues as of late on stream. But Green Beetle is a decent start. Could take Cricket for a bit of like built-in B action. It's almost a shame that I already kind of promised that we wouldn't jump straight into the achievements, because we could go for level 3 baby Cricket, of course. Just saying it out loud makes me solely tempted, but we'll skip past for the moment here. Beautiful. Some ladybugs. Do I want another ant? Yeah, we'll try and ensure that we get that round 3 level up one way or another here. And let's see, leaking, obese, hot, cucumbers, swimmers, bushes. Let's go with the hot swimmers. Aren't they all? But here we go. Let's hope for some good omens immediately. I mean, that's not exactly one. We definitely lose this fight, unfortunately, but hey, that's fine. We can lose in the early game. Health is a resource. We're just doing our best here. So, I mean, definitely this. That's a good place to start. Ooh, thank you so much, Eggly, for the subscription. I appreciate it a whole lot. And also, just nice to see you. Hope you're having a great week so far. I guess this is first real week of the new year. I always lose track of time. I'm not very good at paying attention to dates and keeping track of when exactly the weekends were. But regardless, hope your week is going fantastic. Thank you again for the Prime. Let's roll past this once. I was hoping for a honey. In that case, I think we'll throw the ant in still. We could have fed the apple to the green beetle first, but I think I'd actually rather feed an apple to one of our red friends here. Rearrange the squad real quick. And let's see how that does. Having a 3-5 early on is pretty nice. In fact, I've been debating recently the idea of just having 2 ladybugs. You can get them both to level 2 pretty quickly. Getting +2/+2s on 2 different units for every food item you buy seems like a pretty great deal, all in all. At least for the kind of mid-game where you're just trying to get some wins under your belt. There we go. We do see a win indeed. Weird start to the year for you, but always nice tuning into a Torinski stream. Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I guess I'm sorry to hear about the weird start. If it's a bad kind of weird, if it's just like truly strange kind of weird, then I hope that it either gets to be a bit more normal or maybe transforms into a better kind of weird. But it's definitely just the beginning. And hopefully we'll have a better 2022 than we did. I mean, 2020, 2021, really even 2019 to some degree. But okie dokie. We were just talking about the idea of having a double ladybug squad here. Do I want to keep that up? I mean, pills are really nice. Pill and an ant gives us boons across the board here. But I do want to level up. Do you want? We'll maybe put the next ladybug out. For now, let's combine you and see what we get. Caterpillars, very nice this early on. You can run the back of our squad, but before we do that, let's actually pill one of you. Hopefully it hits the ladybug. That'd be nice. Beautiful. Just fantastic. Exactly what you want to see here. And then where do we go? We could throw a cricket in the back for just some insurance on like a badger build. I guess a honey badger more specifically even. Or we could throw a tabby cat. I don't know if I'd keep you around. I guess even if we're not doing like baby grasshopper, bus, or ram strats this game, we could still go for just some good old classic achievements. We haven't gone to level 3 tabby for sure. Almost guaranteed on that one. But let's see how this goes before we make any rash decisions here. I mean, the numbers just work out perfectly there. It's a shame that we didn't have a bee of our own on our back unit, but that's totally okay. Because we're still in one piece here. Ooh, and speaking of, hello. Where would we want you? We could run a tabby cat in the back. It has decently high attack, and that's generally what I like to have on a bee unit in the back because, hey, with 3 health, they're probably going to die to the hit. But as long as they kill whatever they're attacking and the rest of the squad has done their job properly, we should be in an alright spot. So let's even start off with that there. Throw you down to the back. Ooh, unfortunate rerolls. It's really hoping to see something useful. Even a pill would have been nice, honestly. Guess we could still roll pretty deep for that. Hello? And double swan. It was like it was meant to be. So let's quickly smash a pill down on this ant. Again, I was hoping it'd hit the ladybug, but that might have been a little too much to ask for at this stage. So let's just be happy with that. And hopefully this team has what it takes for the time being at the very least. Getting some garlic on our ladybug I think would go quite a long ways. But regardless, there we have it. We're hoping to rack up these early wins. I feel like these days you just have to win early, otherwise there's no shot. It's just not happening. Early worm, kind of interesting. Also gets the worm, of course, as we all know. But, I mean, something like the hatching chick, I think, ensures our interim success a little bit more. But if we could get the worm popping, it definitely finally gives us a target for the caterpillar later on. And that might be nice. Definitely seems like a decent deal in my books. So let's commit to this, even though I maybe shouldn't be quite as assured in the outcome as I am. And then, you know what? Just don't hit the caterpillar. Beautiful. That's exactly what we wanted to see there. And since we can't do 2 things at once here, we might as well roll one more time. Swan's not going to be leveling up this turn, so it's not a huge rush to slam that down. I think garlic actually does the best, even just because it gives us the extra +2/+2, which goes a decent ways at this stage. We'll try that out, see how it goes. I almost should have frozen an apple. I know apples aren't the best item, but when you're running a worm build, you kind of want any targeted food you can possibly lay your grubby little paws on. But I believe this is a win on a first blush here. Beautiful, you'd love to see it. So we're keeping on track here. We're staying on target. And level up for our swan. There you are, Budge. Ooh. Early deer is always pretty solid. We'd have to get rid of something to do it. We could, like, sell the tabby cat. We have all the food heading to our worm. It might be nice to have some kind of puncture in the front. The only issue there is that without the food every round, like buying at least 2 items of food, our squad no longer looks quite as robust as it once did. But I guess we can kind of help it along the way if we sell the tabby cat, buy a deer in front, and then feed it some meat here. Then it has likelihood to take something out in the process as well. That seems like a half-decent trade-off. We'll see. It depends on what type of team we're against in the helpless fossils here. Ooh, man. That bus is going to be absolutely spectacular. Great word. Okay, so confirmation bias, maybe, but it sure did look pretty sweet, hey? Let's see. Squirrel, not a huge fan of. We really need to get you kicking right away here, or else we might be on the back foot for slightly longer than I feel comfortable with. So I think I will buy you still. We can keep a ladybug, especially level 3, for quite a while. Oh my gosh, there we go. Okay, that's exactly what we were looking for, a couple of pairs. Let's launch all this down real quick. As much as I'd like you to be level 2 worm before we start feeding you out the wazoo, it is what it is. And maybe we can still get lucky here. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case. Bison is kind of interesting, though. We have a guaranteed level 3 next round. If the worm doesn't quite pop off, it'll be good to have someone else scaling in the background, right? Seller Swan or our deer, one way or another. Seems okay, I hope. I find myself second guessing my own plans way more often these days in this game because the consistency of wins has gone very much downhill since back in the day. It's almost like people are actually learning how to play the game, getting better at it. What's up with that? But here's where everything gets decided. I do think I still believe in selling the swan. It's nice to have that extra gold, especially in a food-oriented build. You need enough money to supply constant rerolls and food buying, of course. But we don't need to spend as much money if we just have a bison kicking it, right? And sure, it's slightly late on round 8, but it's better than what we have going on currently here, so something is better than nothing. We'll also feed our worm a garlic. Get them punching slightly better here. More pairs would be nice. No dice, but that's all fine and dandy. I think I will go for the salad. Hopefully it hits the worm. I guess anything except for the caterpillar. Beautiful. Worm and bison is about as good as we possibly could have hoped for there, so I'll take it. And then last but not least, I want to hopefully ensure a victory with a cupcake, or get one of these on the way to the next level up. I might go with the cupcake on the worm. Gives us some permanent benefits in the +1/+1, and we're trying to keep this ball rolling, keep the steam running, and hopefully we can snowball this into earlier 10 wins than we've been dealing with lately. Because as soon as you get to a certain stage, just every team is 50-50 stacked across the board, and it's gonna be a bit of an issue. But, I was definitely hoping for more bison to show up. That would have been pretty nice. Question becomes, are we keeping this deer long term? The very least, I think Ladybug's sticking around for a decent amount of time here. Feed another pair to our worm. I think we have our feet in slightly too many metas right now, but hopefully we're figuring it out. Like here, I think slap down on the deer. And then this chocolate either goes to the deer, or if we get another chocolate or a bison, it definitely heads that direction instead. Our butterfly being a 17-17 seems all right. Maybe not quite as high as you'd like it at round 9, but definitely good enough to do the job. At least all things turning out ideal, which they never really do, but one can dream. Oh, not quite a tie. Need a bee on that bison. The coveted bee bison build. Hopefully on its way. So do we want to use this chocolate right away on our deer? Or risk a reroll and hopefully get better scale on the bison? I think that's our answer. Hey, and it actually kind of worked out, surprisingly enough. These immediately get tossed down this way. You can get brought up. I guess that's kind of squad orientation here. Yeah, looks good enough for me. Our bison is actually going to become as strong as our worm is right away here, which is interesting. I've invested a lot of money into this worm with not so great results. I swear, one of these days I'm going to get worms to work. Level 3 bison might be nice, though. Already 2/3 of the way there. Maybe, just maybe. And that's a better team for us to be going up against. I feel like this is at the very least a bit more achievable. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely love to see it. So that is 7 wins. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Pizza? Nah. Do I risk just immediately dropping everything into Bison? Let's do it, I believe. Going anything frozen here to increase our chances of getting another Bison, you son of a gun. How dare you disappoint me so? Well, in this case, I think putting more food into our worm seems like a bit of a sunk cost fallacy issue. So, Bison, you're the new hotness, I guess. 25-25 around 11. It's not bad. Especially since, obviously, Caterpillar helps us get another one. We don't want to see a dolphin, though. Perfect. Oh, but skunk is also really bad for us. Oh, boy. Hopefully we have a strong enough squad altogether, and indeed we do. So it does end up working in our favor, but slightly scary there for sure. And that's 8. Holy moly. Off to a good start. I think steak for the deer seems great. Normally I'd drop everything for a cow, but I don't think we're too committed on the food side of things anymore. Oh, and one reroll does get us the bison that we so desire, so that's beautiful. And then would I rather have steak on one of my back units so they can potentially take out a chonker, or one more pair? Let's go one more pair since it does benefit 2 of our characters here. So I'm hoping no skunks, no dolphins, no wide boys. It's that easy game. It's a simple ask, really. But the steak works out perfectly there. Oh, you didn't get all your ram triggers. I feel like I sacrifice everything just to make the ram triggers work, even in situations where it doesn't make sense. Because you gotta see it work as intended, right? But we just need one more win, and we can break the more long-ranging curse that we've had of losing pretty much every game for the majority of the stream and usually just finally getting one victory at the very tail end. So that would be nice. And instead of garlic on you, I think I will put a 1-up. It's essentially a rich person's honey. And again, we just have to cross our fingers and hope that everything shakes out. I mean, Bison almost being maxed out is pretty solid with the butterfly. No mas. Indeed. Solo no mas. Ooh, this is a rough team, but we do manage to take it out. I wonder, was that the same skunk team that we faced earlier? Might have been, maybe just maybe, but there we have it. Managed to get an early victory against all odds here, something that we almost never see. True rarity. But that's awesome, a good start to the day. Maybe that's an omen of what's to come. Wouldn't that be nice? But okie dokie, the question becomes, do we want to try another pay to win here, or do we want to switch right over to free to play and try and get some fancy achievements running? Maybe we'll do one more in paid pack with the caveat that we'll go for one of our fancy strategies here. Early wins are strong. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like the majority of my games that I play, I end up like tying a whole bunch in the early mid game, and that just means by the time I get to lethal territory at the end, where I just have 1 or 2 hearts left, it's just a constant struggle against the strongest teams, like all across the board. Again, triple 50-50s at the very least. So definitely is nice to try and lock those down early, get ahead of the curve, and just keep snowballing your way to victory. Hey Brain, how's it going? Hope you're having a good one. And okie dokie. Let's hop into another one here and see what the game hands us. I mean, it's essentially an ideal early shop here. So how could I refuse? Definitely freeze a honey for next turn as well. So we could try and force cricket. Maybe that's what this shop is trying to tell us. we'll give it a shot. Even if we don't end up seeing any more, we can always sell that cricket to make room for a sheep or a deer later on. Sizzling, wrinkled, and offensive. Carrots, pearls, reactors. Let's go with sizzling reactors. That's not something you generally want to hear. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, I'm doing all right, Brain. I hope that your week is going fantastic so far here. Midway through. Always lose the first one. That's just become the new norm, really. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. I think I will buff up the rest of our shop here. And we can throw a cricket to the wolves at the very front. Ooh. There's our level 2 for round 3. You know what, we might as well freeze both these sons of guns. And we'll give it a shot. That's not the team you really want to be up against. I feel like it's me, but much stronger. Yep, pretty much. I guess it is a tie, because that 1 health difference doesn't exactly make the cut, so that's fantastic. But again, like we were just talking about, draws are also kind of bad these days. We're looking to get ahead of the curve as soon as possible. Let's see what we get. Hatching Chick is absolutely stellar. That's a huge get on round 3. That pretty much guarantees, well, I shouldn't say guarantee. It helps ensure a victory for like 2-3 rounds over the next little bit here, so that's fantastic. In fact, let's freeze you just in case I hit reroll without thinking about it too hard. That seems prudent. Let's roll once to see if we get anything else we would desire here. Could go for a meat bone. We have a lot of weak 1 attack units here. Regardless, welcome to the squad, Hatching Chick. And then we're not seeing any more crickets, so I feel like I almost have to ditch this one and instead hope that we see some relatively early sheep. Deer would be awesome too, but that one's hard to get to level 3 and pill before we get to 10 wins if we're trying to keep ahead of the ball here. Regardless, let's give you meat. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have given you meat. I guess we can always do this. Because this unit's already going to be pretty strong with the Hatching Chick buff, so I feel like it's not quite as necessary to get its attack up there. It should, ideally, be able to kill most of the stuff that it's up against at this phase of the game. I'd rather have a slightly harder hitter in another member of the team. Let's see. I mean, Cricket definitely does their job brilliantly here, taking the fire, taking the hit for the rest of the squad. And that'll do it. That'll do, baby. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Can't show me a swan and expect me not to buy it up, game. Am I ready to fully admit that this cricket's not going anywhere? I don't know if I ever will be. Because if so, then I just want to combine these, bring them up, maybe swan in behind. Doesn't seem horrible. Let's try it out here. This green beetle is just going to be frozen in the shop for all eternity. Oh, or not. Never mind. I've been corrected, because with 2 of them, that gets us real close. And, hey, it's level or round 5 after this, so if we can get the level 3 beetle, and maybe, just maybe, a bison pops out of the upgrade, then we're sitting pretty here, looking pretty happy, and very much in control. Okay, that's a rough matchup there, losing our character at an inappropriate time, but hey, what do I know? Apparently it doesn't matter whatsoever, and the B pulling it in clutch here, as we're all very well aware by this stage, or by this point, B, just the strongest unit in the game, regardless of how you slice it. So let's replace the meat with garlic, since that'll help us out a wee bit more here. Still have a chance? Dang, I was definitely holding out hope that we'd see a bison here. Also, no sheep whatsoever. So apparently this was just not the run for zombies. not at all working out for us. But we could sell you. We could bring a turtle in. And then I have to stop for a moment because we could afford to pill this thing right away. Give something melon armor. It seems like kind of a shame to give it to the ladybug, especially since ladybug's not doing all that great stat-wise. Kind of riding off the hatching chick high. And that's about it. We'll at least freeze you. Puppy doesn't quite make the cut here. Even though maybe I should have thought about that before buying the turtle. We need some kind of permanent scaling. And sure, it's late for Puppy, but late's better than never in a lot of situations. We can roll past once, though, I believe. Let's see, do we freeze the swan for later and give something else honey? And then we can rearrange the squad a little bit here. Yes, actually. I'm going to give the swan honey. They become our backliner to finish sealing in the deal. And then this way, get melon armor on a tough beetle. Ladybug still gets their garlic advantage. Seems good. Seems all right at the very least, and that's maybe the best I can ask for right now. And then we need to see a deer. Crossing our fingers. We need to see a deer. Okay, rough melon armor at the end there. Great job, Lee J with the cheesy aunties. Okie dokes. Don't want the garlic armor right away. I guess I don't have too much to replace it with, so we can start with Swan. Get a couple rerolls. I know I've been saying it's too late for sheep, but sacrifices must be made. When you're going for a level 3 ram, could at least buy it. Then next round as we hit tier 4, if we find a deer, we can pivot strategies real quick. At least with the sheep, you just have to get them to level 2, and that's all it takes to push it to the limit, as it were. So I'm thinking we pill you, get them alone, then an apple to our beetle makes our sheep slightly more effective, if not by much. We'll see if we can ride this at all. So I hear you out. How can honey ham not be good? You mean it's honey ham? Does sound absolutely delicious. But maybe that's the exact issue. Maybe you don't want something too tasty in this game, or else the enemy team is just going to gobble it down, right? You got to find that sweet spot balance. Also, this team completely wrecks us, I believe. Just want to put that out there real quick. Ouch, ouch. So close. 1 damage away. We almost got there. But see, this is following more so the usual trend that I've expected from the game here. The slow but steady decline into horrifying situations. There's the level 2 sheep. So at some point here, we just need a pill and to make some space. We've got what it takes. We could even get it now. Ooh, snap. Hatching chick is the only reason we've even gone this far so far. But it might be the one that has to go here. Trying to think about this. Skunk is probably very useful in this squad as well. Scorpion is where I'm most likely going to go to just try and cheese our way into an extra couple of little victories here, as long as we luck out with like some hefty units with garlic at the front. Round 7, still definitely early enough. I mean, I guess that's technically the earliest you could possibly get a Scorpion, so what am I saying? So, let's just commit. Let's do this. You, we pill you. She does also count as food, which is kind of sweet. Get a 7/7 on the squad. With a Scorpion up front? Yeah, this will work. I don't see how this possibly backfires, right? Garlic might be nice to throw in the ram. The ram's not going anywhere stat-wise right now, unfortunately. Ooh, so alternatively, we could honey it and it could become our anchor unit. It's a lot like Tug of War. You need that anchor person right in the back of the squad where all the power comes from. Something we're all much more aware of since Squid Game came out than maybe we used to be. Those very crucial Tug of War strategy points. But for now, I think Scorpion continues to carry us, at least for the time being. We could get rid of the Swan or the Ladybug. I feel like Ladybug has kind of fallen off without the level ups. So let's do it. Let's get rid of you first, with the Swan being probably the next on the to-do list, but we need the Skunk, otherwise the squad just has no chance. All we need is one strong unit on the enemy team, and we're absolutely sewered here. So let's roll deep, hoping... I'd maybe take a level 2 Swan. I was hoping for the level 2 Skunk, of course, but even if this is just for one turn, I think I'll take my shot. I do love me a Seal. Gives some potential for the Ram to actually have some upward trajectory in terms of stat. We'll at least freeze it. I know it diminishes our odds slightly of getting that Skunk that we oh so desire, but we need to have some kind of contingency plan for the future. Oh no, that's kind of worst case scenario. Worst of all worlds. Ooh, and the Bison not dying also clinches it in. If the Bison had just died one hit earlier, then we might have had a shot at taking out this bird, at least for a draw. But hey, this is what we come to expect from trying to force the Ram, and I couldn't be happier about it. Still, somehow making it work, even getting to the level 3 units is a lot of fun in my opinion. And one of these days, we're going to have a breakthrough. We're going to see it all come into alignment, all the pieces of the puzzle coming together into something truly magnificent and beautiful. At least that's the dream. So